live on the Industry's Most Wanted podcast. Boom, you see it back there. Listen, we have a special guest checking in all the way from Ohio. Party of Plastic, how you doing?
I'm all right, not too bad. Happy to be here.
Listen, it's a pleasure to meet you. I was excited about getting to know you tonight and letting all of our listeners get to know you. People are already chiming in. Just want to say real quickly, we are live streaming on multiple platforms. We're on YouTube, we're on 2 Facebook pages, we're on Twitter, which is now known as X, and we're live streaming on Twitch. So we're on all the platforms across the board. If you guys come here to see Party of Plastic, make sure you guys drop a comment. Let us know that you're here. But without further ado, go ahead and give us that introduction.
This is Party of Plastic, and welcome to Industry's Most Wanted.
Hey, I like that introduction. I might need to get you to do a drop for me. That would be dope. Yeah. I can tell we're going to have fun. Well, thank you again for being here tonight. I really want people to get to know you and understand your journey. And you and I had a chance to talk a little bit before we went live. You're originally from Mexico City. You resided there until what age?
Till I was like 10.
Okay. So do you remember a lot about it?
Yeah. I still visit my family every once in a while. I mean, my whole family lives over there. Besides my mom and my dad. We were the only ones that made it here, so.
Okay. So for those first 10 years of your life residing in Mexico City, what was that like for you?
I don't know. It was interesting, It's definitely way more different than here.
Yeah.
I love my country and I love my culture, so there's that. Food's awesome.
Absolutely. What is your favorite food to eat from there?
From Mexico, I'm vegetarian now, but if I wasn't, I'm gonna have to go with tacos al pastor. That's my favorite.
Okay, so for people who don't know what that is, go ahead and break it down for us.
All right, so it is these pig tacos, and they are in it's like a spinny wheel thingy, and the meat is like just like this, and they spin it around in a fire, and then they chop it, and they put onions and cilantro and lime and all sorts of stuff.
Oh, that sounds good. But you don't eat pork no more, but that sounds good.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Let's just real quickly, before I forget to ask, you said you're now vegetarian. What made you decide to go, to eliminating certain things from your diet?
I just want to take better care of myself because I have not treated my body the best in the past. Yeah. And I want to live a long time,
I agree. 8 years ago, I went vegan, and probably within the last year, I did add some chicken back into my diet because as a vegan, it's very, very hard to get enough protein. And, it's important. We got to keep our muscles strong, and protein feeds our muscles. So now I'll have some chicken breast, but I haven't dabble back into the pork or the red meat or anything like that, because you're right. It's, we have to be mindful of what we put in our body. Do you feel better, honestly, since you changed your diet, physically?
Most definitely. I've definitely lost some weight, and my heart feels a lot better. So
I know that's right. Love it. Yes. 2 thumbs up, 4 thumbs up. So you moved to Ohio at the age of 10, or did you go somewhere else before you went to Ohio?
No, we moved to Ohio, Cincinnati.
Okay. What took you there, your family? Did you have other family members there?
No. My dad just kind of got a job opportunity, and it was like, hey, instead of living like this, we can live a little bit better. So then we moved over,
Yeah. What was that transition like for you?
Man, the schools in Mexico that I attended, we were taught Spanish. Not Spanish, English, a little bit, but I definitely was not the greatest at English when we moved, and just completely different. So there was I did struggle for a couple of years as a kid here, but made me the man that I am today. So
absolutely, we have to embrace that. I'm a big believer in that, especially when we're kids and we kind of get comfortable with our friends and the school system we're in, and then we're uprooted and taken somewhere else, it definitely can be a little traumatizing, because you're having to start over with making new friends and new memories and things like that. You said it's very different culturally, which I can only imagine. Coming into adulthood now, looking back, going from Mexico City, over here to Cincinnati, Ohio, how did that help you being able to experience such different types of cultures?
It definitely opened my mind,
Yeah.
I'm very open-minded, and I'm just grateful for everything, the good and the bad.
There you go. That's the way we have to look at it. We have to be grateful because, like you said, it made you the man who you are today.
Most definitely.
Going back to your childhood, whether it be in Mexico City or in Cincinnati, is there anything at all, if you could go back and change anything about your childhood, would you, or would you leave it exactly the same?
Uh, you know what? Everything happens for a reason. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Everything happens and we can't question it. I'm a believer that God, works divinely. He intervenes where he's supposed to. He takes people when it's their time. Just we cannot question any of that, most definitely. Growing up before music, was there any other passions? Did you play sports or was there anything else that you desired to do before music?
I was always very creative. So like
Okay.
I used to like to draw a lot and stuff. And yeah, I as silly as it sounds, I wanted to be a ball player. And I did play basketball for a while. I was not very good, but I was okay.
Yeah, well, at least you attempted to do something that you definitely had a passion for. About how long did you play?
Um, I started pretty late. I started when I was in like sixth grade. Never played for my school because I had terrible grades and I got expelled. But I did play AAU in high school for like 2 years.
Okay, what was that experience like for you?
Getting my ass kicked, but it was very fun. I'm
Most
not
definitely.
not that tall, so.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But you know what though? You probably gave it your all. You put your best foot forward. You know what I'm saying? You don't
There
strike
you
me as a
go.
type that does anything half-ass per se. Like you put your everything into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Um, when did music start coming into your life on a personal level to where you're like, you know what, this is something that I think I really want to do?
Um, well, I always loved music, and when I was a kid, like when I was still living in Mexico, when I was like 8 or 7, my parents bought me a guitar, and I wanted to learn how to play guitar. I was not very good at it though, and I never ever in my life thought I was gonna end up as a singer. I was like, okay, the guitar players are cool, the singers are like way too cool. No fucking way I can do that. Um, I I guess I mean I started doing music when I was 15 or 16. I'm 22 now. I was horrible when I first started singing. Um, but I don't know. I got really bad on drugs, and music was just kind of like a big light for me. So it was kind of like, hey man, this is like the one thing that you got going for you. Don't fuck it up. And yeah,
Absolutely. I love it. Thank you for being so transparent about your journey as well. I think that's so important because at the end of the day, we're all human beings.
yes,
We're
man.
none of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. We all look back at stuff that we may have done throughout our life and be like, man, I wish I wouldn't have done that. But like again, you said, it's a part of our journey. It makes us who we are today. We cannot change that. We can only maybe, level up from it or rise away from it. Music became like a therapy for you, it sounds like.
Yeah, for sure.
Most definitely. I think it is for a lot of people. Like I personally, I experience anxiety and I'm very transparent about talking about that because, it's people like yourself who have a voice and people like me who have a voice that it's important that we are transparent and we talk about stuff like that because we need to let people know they're not alone. There are other people who have substance abuse, addictions, or maybe they experience some depression or anxiety. And it's up to us to share our story to let them know, hey, man, you're not alone, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel, right?
100%.
That is dope. So let's talk about your music. Do you sit down and have writing sessions? How does your creative process come together?
Uh, from the outside, it's pretty basic. But it just happens really spontaneously. That's what's kind of fun about it.
Yeah.
I find instrumentals and I'm like, okay, this sounds kind of tight. And I don't know, I just kind of pick my brain. I'm like, what am I feeling or what do I want to write about?
Yeah.
What's on my mind, and then just start writing, sing it out loud, be like, okay, this sounds cool, this doesn't, and boom.
And it comes together and then the songs come together. Now, do you actually pen to paper write or do you type it on your notepad on your phone? Like, what does that look like for you?
I would be a liar if I sat here and told you that it was pen and paper. As cool as that is, like, oh yeah, he's old school. Nah, nah. I use this bad boy.
I know that's right. Technology, boy, it saves us a lot. I remember back in school, like my middle finger had this little like callus on it from us having to write so much. And I'm like, gosh, will that thing ever go away? Because we were always pen to paper, pencil to paper.
Literally.
For you, writing, even though it's on, like it's on your cell phone, that's still a form of writing. How does that help Party of Plastic, like on your mental level?
On my cell phone. I am not going to lie. I am chronically online, and sometimes it's not very cash money, but everything's in there. So like I don't have to worry about 10 notebooks to carry around, or like where did this beat go? I need to pull out this hard drive. No, I got it in there.
I know that's right. It's like everything in one spot, and then it becomes to the point where like I have two of them because one's personal, one's business. I got two phones.
There you go.
Yeah, because like what I've learned along my journey is I absolutely had to divide the personal from the business line, because some of these artists, boy, they like to call you at 3 a.m. for no good reason. I'm like, what? Business line gets cut off at night. Y'all catch me in the morning time.
Man, you got to put on that double do not disturb,
A double D&D, right? I like that. Definitely. When you first started releasing music on the digital platforms, that's been about how long now?
What day is it today? It is the 15th. A little bit over a month.
So you just fairly recently started putting music on the digital platforms.
Party of Plastic. I only have my debut, which is what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
EP to the Ones I Love and Miss, that came out, I think, the 6th of October. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So you've been working a lot just in this last month or so.
Yes, ma'am. A lot of shows out here, not necessarily big gigs, but definitely a lot of shows, and a lot of just working on not only the musical aspect of me as an artist, but everything else that comes with it. People
Absolutely.
think you just make music and that's it. No, there's so much other things.
There's so much more that goes into it. Like we could literally do a whole show that would take the entire day just talking about everything that it takes to be a music artist, right? It's like insane. Shout out to everybody checking in. We got people on YouTube checking in. We got people on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. So whatever digital platform you're here on, please drop a comment so we can let Party of Plastic know you're here. Shout out to Graveyard TV. Dropping them comments.
Shout out to Graveyard TV. Let's go. What up, Gabe?
Hey. I meant to tell you too, by the way, the picture that I used for your flyer, I'm going to steal that pose from you.
Oh my gosh, I'm weak. Are you talking about this one?
Yes. I was like, yo, like that. I had to use that picture because I received a couple of them and I was like, that was so dope. I love the pose on that. So I'm stealing that from you. I'm just letting you know right now. If you see me with that pose, you're going to be like, oh, we talked about it. Most definitely. Again, going back to, you just fairly recently started releasing music. Did you ever think in your younger years that you would be where you're at right now, releasing music, doing interviews, doing shows? Did you ever see that in your future when you were younger?
Yeah, but you would have called me delusional back then, and you can probably still call me slightly delusional now.
That's okay, though. Listen, we are not trying to be normal, or we are not trying to fit in. Like, me and my dad, we call each other aliens because I swear I'm not from this world. Like we call each other aliens because I don't want to be like anybody else. I want to be completely foreign. You know what I'm saying? So if people think we're delusional, hey, you and I are going to be delusional together. It's all good.
The Lulu does become true Lulu,
The Lulu, absolutely. Most definitely. Let's talk about your name, Party of Plastic. Where did that name come from?
So there's two like ways that I like to look at it and explain it to people. One of them is kind of like being at a social event and just like everybody feels very superficial.
Yes.
And I don't know, I've always been kind of on the outside. But the other name, which is what makes the most sense. It can mean whatever you want it to mean, but the whole music industry is very pulley stringy puppety,
So I couldn't agree more.
What that means, it's like Party of Plastic,
I love it. That is dope. I like that there's actually a real meaning behind it. And what you just said, there is a lot of puppets and puppet masters per se in this industry. with all the stuff that goes into this music business, right? It's not easy. Like we said, there's so many layers to this business of what we have to learn. It takes a lot of money to be an independent artist. What is driving you? What's forcing you? What's keeping you motivated, with you wanting to do this music?
Um, I love music.
Yeah. Simple as that.
It keeps me, the most out of trouble anything has ever kept me. So
I love it.
there's that too.
Listen, I love that. I've been interviewing artists for over 12 years, and I've literally done thousands of interviews. And, a lot of the artists I sit down with, are street artists, and music is what saves their lives. It helps them get up out of the streets. That way they're not going to wind up incarcerated or maybe even dead. You know what I'm saying? Um,
100%.
Definitely an outlet. Yeah. So, what's the music scene like in Cincinnati for artists that are on the rise?
Man, so it's gonna sound so silly, right? But I used to be a rapper. I used to make completely different types of music. I just used to be a completely different person, to be honest. And I I started, like I said, with rap music here, and because that's all there really is here. I mean, you have your typical like Midwest emo and pop punk bands, which is really dope because that's like that's what I listen to. But
Yeah.
that is more. It's they play a lot, but it's hard to like um find that, if that makes any sense at all, as
No,
far
it's
as opportunity. So the opportunity, I actually got a distribution deal through Sony Music. I actually won, with everything with Wild Nation, all that stuff. I won that opportunity through a rap competition, but I did alternative rock, obviously. So that's kind of the stuff that I have to do out here to get somewhere, which is silly, but hey, whatever, I'll take it.
absolutely. And congratulations too, for the winnings and the distribution deal. That right there speaks a lot about, not only you as a person, but your work ethic, the type of music you're putting out, because they seen something, really special within you to give you that opportunity. Now, how important was it to you to make like that transition? You said you were doing rap music and now you do, a different style of music. What did that mean to you, and how important was that to you to make that transition?
I Life kicked my ass, and I got in some trouble, and it was just it was not, like I said, completely different person than I am now. And I always wanted to be a rock star. Like, yeah, rap is tight, whatever. I was okay at it at some point, but I don't know. I just felt like I could dig way deeper than, if I can be this, this level on the surface, why don't I just like, let's go all the way in.
Absolutely. You have to really follow your heart in what drives you, because everybody's journey is different, right? So we have to follow our calling, our path. And if like rock music is it for you, then that's what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Some people it might be R&B, and some people might be trap music. Do you think that, throughout your journey going forward, that you'll incorporate other genres in your music?
Um, See, here's the thing. My music by itself, I like the biggest genre I like to throw it under, even though I still feel like it's kind of genreless, is alternative rock. But
Yeah.
I definitely still use a lot of the stuff that I learned from when I was a rapper, and just everything. I grew up on glam metal bands, you know, the hippie stuff. I grew up on a lot of Michael Jackson, uh,
Yeah.
Kanye. That's like my favorite rapper to this day. Um,
Dope.
Everything, and I just kind of implement that into that.
I
But
love it.
it was more about the moral aspect of the shit I was talking about and everything else.
Yeah. And I like that fact that you said it's like genreless, because you don't want to box yourself in, like completely a style of your own, unapologetically your own style. And that's how we should do it, because one thing that I've really learned about my life and everybody else's life is that we cannot please everybody, nor should we try to. Like we'll drive ourselves insane trying to please everybody, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
at the end of the day, just unapologetically do what makes you happy. This is your journey. Would you say that you've fallen in love with the process of becoming a music artist?
It's like a toxic girlfriend.
That's a great analogy.
It's like a very toxic, drug addicted, up and downy, bipolar, borderline girlfriend.
You broke that all the way down. It is. That is a great analogy. But are you getting there with it? Like,
Oh, I
really?
love it. I love it. There's
Yeah.
nothing else I'd rather be doing. You get one avatar on this earth. Play a game how you want to play it.
Yeah, most definitely. So, it's safe to say that music is absolutely a passion for you. So, my question to add on to that is through music, what is your purpose?
I I have two things that I like to stick the most in line with, and that is stay true to myself with what with everything that I make my art. Stay true to myself and help be the person that I wish I could have had when I was in certain situations, because I know damn well, me and a lot of other people, there's been a lot of times in your life where all you have is music.
You're absolutely right.
So
You are right.
things I stick with.
Yeah. Do you find yourself, as an adult kind of being a loner a little bit?
Yeah. Most
I am.
definitely, especially out here. I definitely don't fit with the bunch, and I don't really want to either. So
Me either. Like, honestly, the thing that I've really recognized, and it took me a little while to admit it, is that I get social anxiety. And when I tell people that, they don't believe me because of what I do. I'm constantly around people. But I'm like, I think that's kind of what gives me social anxiety because I'm constantly around people. And it's like,
there you go.
I really enjoy time to myself. I love being alone, like of course I love being around the people I care about, but
Yeah.
it's when we get around that toxic energy out there in the world that things can get kind of weird for us. Are you an overthinker at all?
Yeah. Are you?
I'm g- I'm probably the biggest overthinker in the entire world.
There you go. I'm probably a close second then.
Yeah, you and I are like neck and neck with each other. Like
For sure.
I literally will think about 100 scenarios about something before it even happens. And sometimes I even talk myself out of shit that I'm like, bro, like, what am I doing? Why
When
do
you needed advice from a real one, you gotta talk to yourself, because you're the realist. No.
you listen, bro? Like, that right there is a major statement because I talk to myself, especially when I'm driving in the car. When I'm driving alone, like I'm cussing people out, I'm venting. I'm like, that's my time to talk to myself. What is your process like? I know you said that you pre-write your music before you get into the studio. Do you have a setup at your house or do you go to a recording studio? How does that portion come together?
Everything you've heard on that EP has been made on this microphone right here in this
So
bedroom with this computer from 2018.
I love it. Listen, I think
I hate studios so much. You have no idea.
that was gonna kind of be my next question. So you really don't enjoy the studio vibe, and a lot of artists don't. Some of them go just for the aesthetics of it. But I think having something in your home, whether it's in your bedroom or if you got a closet or whatever, that's where you can get the most personal because you don't have anybody there looking over you, nobody watching you. Do you feel like you create your best music right there?
Yes. And obviously around my three close friends, I can definitely create around them. But
Yeah.
that is like it. I
Yeah.
mean, I can get up on a stage and sing in front of thousands of people. That's no problem. But as far as creating, I two things about the studio. The first one is I despise the way that people mix rock music. For the most part,
Mm,
out here it is mostly rap studios. And the
yes.
second one is if I want to do a take 3,000 times, I'm gonna do it. And a lot of studio people don't really like that.
Exactly, right, because they get impatient and they wanna rush through it, and it's like, as an artist, like Erica Badu said, "I'm sensitive about my shit," like, you wanna make sure that your record is to perfection, and like you said, if it takes 100 takes to get it there, then that's what it is. Do you have, like, a signature, either, like, an ad lib or a saying or something that we will find you here saying a lot in your music?
No, but there's definitely a couple characters.
Tell us about that.
So you will see later on. I don't know how far in the future, but there's a guy named Johnny Sabotage. You'll hear about him. And that's all I have to say. And that character is it's based on me, it's based on other people, it's based on a lot of things.
Yeah. Most definitely. Is acting or film something that interests you at all?
I did actually when I was little, I used to do plays and stuff. I would love to be an actor, but
Yes.
I want to do one thing perfect at a time, you know.
Understood. Absolutely. Most definitely. So I know that you don't have a lot of music on the platforms yet because you're fairly new with releasing music. Do you have a lot in the vault already, like fired up and ready to go?
I have a lot in the vault. I probably have about a project's full. But also I do have a lot more other music, like a lot more other music on SoundCloud, because that's actually where I gained my, you know, that's where my audience is at. I mean, until recently, you know, Blue just hit 100,000 streams, so shout out you guys. You guys are awesome. But
Yes. Wait, where my clap button at? Hold on.
you got a clap button, no way.
You're locked in with Atlantic.
I had it somewhere.
I'll take that. I'll take whatever sound effect you got.
I'm going through all of them. I'm like, there ain't a clap on there nowhere. Oh yeah, there is. There we go.
John Cena.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of John Cena, have you watched the movie called Vacation Friends and Vacation Friends 2?
I don't. Here's the other thing. I am horrendous with titles, so maybe once I Google it, I'll get back to you on that.
Listen, just a sidebar. If you are a fan of John Cena, which I am, he starred in 2 movies. One came out in 2021, and then they just released the second one. It's called Vacation Friends. It's a really funny comedy rom-com. If you like those kind of films,
I love rom-coms.
Me too. So it's on Hulu right now. What part 1 and 2. So go watch those. I promise you, you'll love it. Like they're great. He's a character. Awesome. That is really dope. So what are some of the other things that you're working on, or are you just mainly focusing on putting these singles together?
Right now my biggest goals are securing, obviously, number one, distribution deal's cool, but I want an actual record deal.
Okay.
That's like what's on my mind right now. I want to secure a major record deal. And I want to really get this project out there.
Yeah.
Like I really want, when you drop music, promote it, like make it heard, so that's what I'm working on right now. Definitely looking for a contract. That's my biggest goal.
Absolutely. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of your journey. You being here with me. Like I'm so humbled. I do this because I absolutely love doing it. Like sadly, there's people who do what I do and they only do it for the clout or for the money. Like for me, it's a genuine passion, like music is for you.
You'll find a lot of that. Me personally, I don't charge for features and I don't pay for features. Like that's how I roll as an artist. I have to like you as a person and your art to work with you. And I don't know.
The chemistry has to be there, right? The chemistry. Yeah. So I heard you say that you want to secure a record deal.
Yeah, I would love to.
In a perfect world, in a perfect scenario, what would that record deal look like for you?
I want mass exposure. I know what I'm capable of doing, and I want the team that's going to treat me right. And the exposure that's going to be the best for me. And I would love some money in my pocket because I am currently at my mom's house, unemployed with no car. So
listen, I love your transparency though. Like, but you're still young. You said you're 22, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not that much of a grandpa yet.
You're a jit, as we call it. You a jit. You still a young and you got plenty of time. And let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm a mother myself, right?
Oh, really? Congratulations.
Yeah, listen, my son. I have an adult son.
Oh, word! I never asked you how old you were.
I know I look good, baby. No, just playing. But stay at as long as your mom is cool with you being there, stay there as long as you can and just like focus on, building up what you can, maybe stacking some money because it's a tough world out here. Like when them bills be rolling in, it be the truth.
Yeah. I don't want to be eating ramen noodles every day,
Exactly. And that's what a lot of people go with. So, definitely as long as Mom Dukes is cool with you being there, just be there and keep creating and keep doing your thing, man. I'm proud of you because you've definitely overcome some obstacles in your life. And, we all go through stuff. So I'm definitely proud of you that you're here, what you're doing. You're here with me. We're building. We're going up. We got people in the audience saying, amen. Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen?
Amen. Robert Twiney Jr.
Yeah, shout out to Robert Swanee Jr. He always supports the interviews and stuff. So thank you, bro, for coming in and checking in and tapping in. We're gonna get into the music in a couple minutes. Tell everybody where they can follow you at on your social so they can tap in with you.
So I currently only use one social platform, and that is Instagram, and it's Party of Plastic all together, no space, no caps. And then on Spotify, Apple Music, and SoundCloud, Party of Plastic with spaces, and that's about it.
Absolutely. So he's easy to find. And one thing is so funny because I asked Brother Beats when I was putting all this
Shout
together.
out Brother Beats, man.
Shout out to Brother Beats, man. That's the big homie right there. He's such a good dude. Like,
yes, ma'am.
Talking to him is like a breath of fresh air. He's a good dude. But I had asked him.
Timothy.
Yes, absolutely. I had asked him, I said, does he specifically like his name to be all lowercase? And he said yes, because I noticed that when they sent it to me, it was all lowercase. Is there a significance behind that, or is it because you just wanted to stand out? Because I noticed it.
Honestly, this is gonna be really funny and silly. It was intended to be lowercase, but for some reason, Sony's system did not allow me to do that. So on all platforms, it is with capital P's, but everywhere else it's lowercase.
Yeah, the digital platforms, I think there's only a couple artists that I've seen, like Travis Scott released one of his albums with all lowercase, and then he released another one with all uppercase. I think you probably got to know somebody at them.
Yeah, you gotta be, a couple steps ahead of me for that. The album and the titles the EP and the titles are all lowercase, but for some reason it would not accept my name.
Yeah, they automatically put that capital in there. But I think that's really dope because I automatically noticed it. And little things like that is kind of the aesthetics. People notice stuff like that. I definitely did. I was like, okay, he's got it in all lowercase. So it makes people pay attention. It demands people's attention. So I love it. That's a great concept that you came up with. Most definitely. Do you have, anything else that you want to plug in before we check out the song, or any shout outs that you want to give?
Shout out all my friends at home. I love you guys. Shout out my family. I love you guys more. And shout out everybody that's helped me along my journey, and everybody that will help me along my journey.
Absolutely.
All love, that's what I roll with.
Shout out to yourself too.
Oh, thank you.
Shout out to you. Like, pat yourself on the back, man, because yes, do it. Because self-love is so important, right? If we don't love us first, nobody else can.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have to love ourselves first. That way we can not only receive love, but we can give it as well. So shout out to Party of Plastic checking in. It's been a pleasure to have you here, but we're about to get into this hit record. Tell us a little bit about the song. It's called Blue.
So Blue is definitely one of my most personal records ever. The parentheses title is, "And to all the ones I love and miss, I wish you the best." And this song is kind of just about kind of like I had a really bad overdose this year. I actually died in the hospital. It was really messed up. I'm good now. I'm clean off that stuff. But I was going through a lot of not very cool beans type of stuff, and I was also not the greatest person. So I lost a lot of people, a lot of friends, a lot of girlfriends, and this record is kind of like, I'm more sober than I've ever been, still not fully sober, but more sober than I've ever been. And I self-reflect on everything that I've done, good and bad, and, all the people that I care about. And it's just kind of like a letter to everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what Blue's about.
I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Absolutely. Listen, and I know, and I mean this so truly and honestly, because I'm really big on, listening to people and mental health. All that is important. Like, you and I consider us friends and family now. I really want to build with you. Boom, fist bump, boom. That's so funny because all my if anybody ever sees my in-person interviews, I fist bump with everybody because I like to transfer that energy. But seriously though, I know that we don't know each other well, but if you ever just need an ear, man, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm a great, great listener, and I don't listen to react. I want to listen to understand. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to offer that up to you. If you ever just need to vent or just get something off your chest, you can hit up Tampa. I'm a mom, so I'm a great listener, and it doesn't ever go any further than that.
There
So
you go.
I wanted to extend that to you most definitely.
Shout out
But
Tampa.
yes, absolutely. And again, I'm proud of you. And I like the fact that you said this is one of your most personal songs, because that's something that I ask a lot too. What is people's most personal song? So this one is one of your most personal records that you've ever written.
For sure. This project and, as a whole.
Most definitely.
They define like the past 5 years of my life.
I love it. I love it. Well, we're about to go ahead and check it out. You guys, everybody that's tuned in, appreciate you being here, whether you're here on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, or YouTube. You're on one of the platforms. Make sure you guys follow Party of Plastic. Like he said, it's all lowercase, all together on Instagram. So go over there and follow him. What about your YouTube channel? Is it also under Party of Plastic, or have you set that up yet?
Oh yeah, it's I actually Blue Video just hit 100,000 on there as well. So much love to you guys. Thanks, thanks to everybody that went and checked that out. If you haven't, I definitely would. Action Jackson, because that's my boy that made the beat, and shout out Sid Hale, the guy with the camera.
Yeah, definitely. They're a pivotal part of your career. Your videographer, your producers, your engineers, most definitely. Well, Party of Plastic, it was such a pleasure to have you here, but we're about to go ahead and get into this record so everybody can check it out. Can you introduce it for us?
This is Blue, and to all the ones I love and miss, I wish you the best.
Most definitely. Let's go.
Industry's most wanted.
Play that guitar. That song just made me happy. That song made me happy. I really like that a lot. Like, I like high vibrational, feel good music. I like transparent music. Like you said, that was a very personal song for you. Man, like, what a feel good song. I like that a lot. Like, I think that's the type of record that's going to take you international. That's going to make you an international superstar. You're nothing local about you at all. You absolutely tapped into what is comfortable for you, but still uncomfortable, if that makes sense. Like, you're doing exactly what you want unapologetically. And I think you've nailed it, man. What a great record. Love it. And I'm going to go check out the video. I haven't seen the video yet, so I'm going to make sure I do that as well.
Thank you. Thank you. I
Most
appreciate
definitely.
the words.
My pleasure. It was such a pleasure to meet you and have you here. And like I said, what I meant, if you ever just need an ear, I definitely don't mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be like your big sis. Is that cool?
Likewise.
All right, that sounds good. Well, again, it was a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for everybody that tuned in. If you guys missed any part of this interview, it does stay on my YouTube channel permanently. So go back and run it up, run them streams up. Head over to Party of Plastic and make sure you subscribe to his YouTube. Watch the video, give it a thumbs up, and leave it a comment. It takes you just 5 minutes of your time to do all that, maybe even less, right? But you have a great night. We up out of here, you guys.